Good afternoon. My name is Julie, and my channel is I'm Not Dead Yet. Actually, not dead yet. Uh, so, I wanted to talk about some tips for people who are over 50 who are deciding to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So, the first and foremost tip I have, number one, is going to be mindset. Uh, mindset is probably the biggest thing because we tend to tell ourselves, especially at a certain age, I can't do that. That's really hard. I don't want to. I don't have enough time. Everything under the sun. So I think it was Henry Ford that said, if you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. So both of those are true. That's a big deal. And I know I feel that sometimes, and I have to push through that. When I was, especially because I am definitely not a physical specimen, I am not the healthiest person in life. So when I was in my 40s, I lost 160 pounds in a contest for money. And that was great. I kept it off for most of the time until I hit menopause. And when I hit menopause, I was like, oh, I'm never going to be that way again. I'm never going to feel that good again. I gained 20 pounds immediately. I'm just, I'm over 50. This is the way it's going to be. And I had that kind of mindset. And one of the reasons I started my channel was because of this. I don't want to live my life going, oh, I can't. It's so hard. I work all the time. I don't have any time for myself or to do anything cool or fun or anything that I wanted to do. So I think eradicating that mindset is going to be the biggest thing in climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean, just think you're climbing 19,341 feet. So you have to have some mental strength in order to do that. And you want to cultivate that over time. So I recently signed up for this trip, and I have been wanting to do Mount Kilimanjaro for many years. Ever since I lost my weight, that was one of the biggest factors I lost my weight for, is I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I remember talking to people about this when I was losing my weight and thought that that would be just the coolest thing. Um, and now that I'm at this point in my life, I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I've already put money down. I'm going to be going with a group, a travel agency called, I think it's Life Lift or Lift Life and Travel. And you know, I wanted to give you some tips for an over 50 person who is really training for this. So I did that about a month ago, and everything that I've read is, um, you know, what to do and how to train for this. So, number one is mindset. Number two is going to be getting ready for it physically, which is going to be hiking. Everything I've read said don't do cross training, don't do anything but hiking. So, if you're running, if you're biking, do more hiking than anything. I hike an hour a day with this 25-pound pack. It is hard because I get out of breath with this 25-pound pack, but I can tell you when I switch to the 16, I have a 16-pound pack too. It's like so easy. And any of the tour companies that are online tell you that you're going to be hiking with about 16 pounds, 15 to 16 pounds. So I figure if I hike with a 25, that 16 is going to be like a breeze. So, and then I feel like some of the things that you're going to need is going to be not hiking hard, elevation for sure. I live in elevation, so I live at almost 7,000 feet in Tahoe. So that's easy for me to get get hikes in. But if you don't live in elevation, you can also hike around your neighborhood with a pack. You can hike. You can take a pack and do a Stairmaster at home or at the gym. But something every day so that you can build up your tolerance. And it doesn't have to be super fast. And this is from all the literature I'm reading. So you can go farther, but you don't have to go faster, right? You can go higher or have more of an elevation gain, but you don't have to have that. You want to be able to do hills for sure. But I was shocked by how little hiking I actually thought. Um, I thought they were going to be doing 14 miles a day, that they were going to just be hammering it off. And I was like, I can't do that. Um, and guess what? They're not. I think the highest amount of mileage is like 10, and that's at the end, which is going to be hard. Um, I think the third thing that you need to take into consideration is going to be that uh, you're going to have problems breathing, right? So, I mean, you're going into 19,341 feet, which means that there's going to be less oxygen in that air. And I am a little worried about that. So, they recommend going to your physician, seeing if Diamox would be a good thing for you to have. I'm going to do that. Diamox is not only a diuretic, but it acidifies your blood. Because when you're hiking, you're blowing off a lot of CO2, and CO2 is kind of an acidifier. So you go when you're hiking, and it's not deep breaths; it's very shallow breaths. So that Diamox is supposed to help you. And so, I'm going to do what they recommend and see if I can get that from my physician. I'm probably going to just try and get that prior to a few months before, so I can take it and see if it works and see if I'm, and do some heavy hikes around here in Tahoe. Um, and then I think the third is going to be really make sure that you have the right gear. I know for my travel company, they are supplying the sleeping bags, they're supplying the tents, they do all of your food prep and all that, which is nice. And you are hiking with your little 16-pound pack that has water that they've boiled or whatever, sterilized. And then, anything that you need for the day, extra layers, your shoes, anything. So I think knowing what base layers work, because I'm going to be doing this in August, which means that I'm still going to need base layers, but it's not going to be as cold in August. Towards the top it will be. So I'll still need all the rest of the hiking gear that's going to be for for warmth. So, there's some things that I need to get. Also need to try out some different shoes. So, all in all, I think just just doing the thing is like the most exciting part. I may not be able to finish. I don't know if I will be able to finish. Maybe it's going to be too high. Maybe I have problems breathing. There's a whole host of things that could go wrong. But the best part about that is I still get to do this every day in the most beautiful place ever. And it's the journey, right? It's the journey. Can you imagine just going to Tanzania, going on a frickin' safari, which they do this first, the safari, and then you go to hike Mount Kilimanjaro? There is no downside to that. If I can't make it, I don't give a fuck, you know? So if you want to learn more about how to hike Mount Kilimanjaro, come along with me. And I'm going to be creating this kind of channel for anyone that is wanting to do something big. I would love to hear what big thing you want to do and what you're doing in order to get closer to that goal. I can tell you this has been a dream of mine for a very long time. And although I'm scared, I'm very excited. It's very easy at this age to sit back and say, my life is done and I don't really need to do those things because it's hard. I don't have the time. I work a lot. Um, but this is the time where you can. This is the time where you get to blossom and figure out what it is you want. So I'm excited to hear about what your big goals are. So hit the like and subscribe below. I would love to have your comments down there to tell me what it is you want. Have a great day.